This morning we just spoke to the IDF and Jonathan Conricos saying, essentially admitting that Israel has held back on some of that air assault because of the civilians still in that northern part of Gaza. We asked him about the ground invasion as well. This is looking more likely as the hours wear on. How soon could we see this in your view?
Potentially over the next couple of days. We were with troops training today for an incursion. They were lined up in their vehicles in a field. You had tanks, infantry, combat engineers, and the idea was to get them ready to go in as a combined force. So they were training, movements to do that. We also saw IDF troops training in a mocked-up Palestinian town, concrete town. There were mosques, stores, houses, and they were training for sort of urban warfare in that environment. Again, the sort of environment that they're going to go into when they go into Gaza. But the problem they face is, and it was the same, the last incursion into Gaza, 2014, Hamas is telling civilians to stay put. The IDF back then was telling the civilians to move south, just as they are now. And I was talking earlier on this evening with a veteran of the 2014 conflict, and he said, look, we were told by the Israeli Defense Forces the civilians would be gone. The reality is they weren't, and it was a high conflict zone, of course. I was asking one of the commanders today who's going in, can you really go in and take out Hamas without getting civilian casualties? And he said, look, we're targeting the terrorists, we're not targeting the innocents. But he said, it's a difficult scenario. And the spokesman here told us, look, we've asked the civilians to move. Hamas is telling them not to. So the responsibility is on Hamas if the civilians are there. And I think the scenario can be expected to be similar again. Some civilians move south, some remain in their homes, and they'll be there potentially when and if the IDF do go in. And as I say, that could be in the next few days.
Nic Robertson live in Sderot in southern Israel, just a mile, as he said, from the border with Gaza. Extraordinary reporting from Nic and the team at CNN. We appreciate it.